Sometimes it feels like you're working around the clock when it comes to decluttering, but I know for a lot of people, there are certain categories of things they just can't seem to let go of. It could be sentimental things like their kids' artwork or a box of mementos, or it could be something a little more practical like just in case items or old receipts. Today, we're digging into the number one reason why you are struggling to let go of any and all types of clutter, and finally let go so it can release the grip it has on you. Hey, I'm Katie, leading declutter expert and host of the Maximized Minimalist podcast. And my favorite thing in the world is helping families just like yours declutter their home and simplify their life. And by the way, if you're ready to conquer that clutter for good come 2024, make sure to join me for my brand new free masterclass, How to Reclaim Your Home in 3 Easy Steps, even if you've tried everything. No, this isn't Marie Kondo, home edit, or insert your favorite organizer here. I'm going to teach you the simplified and permanent approach to decluttering once and for all. That link is going to be below. Make sure to sign up. When it comes to decluttering, one of the biggest obstacles I see people face, literally 100% of the people I've worked with, which is thousands, by the way, over the year, including me, I'm no exception. Everyone struggles with this at some point, and it's called sunk cost fallacy. So the sunk cost fallacy is a cognitive bias that causes people to make decisions based on the time, the money, or the effort they've already invested into something rather than on its current or future potential. Essentially, it's this idea that you've already put resources into something. So for clutter, you've paid for it, right? You've stored it in your home for months or even years. So your brain is thinking, well, what's the point? What's the advantage in letting go? I've already invested resources into it. And ultimately, sometimes our brain decides to keep it, even if it's not the best decision. And this bias is known as the sunk cost fallacy because the resources you've invested are already gone, just like a ship that is sunk. Raise your hand or comment yes if you've experienced this. Everyone has. And by the way, if you struggle with sunk cost fallacy, almost 100% of the time, it is going to trump and throw out any strategy or guideline. Maybe you've tried to incorporate the 20/20 rule, right? But you just seem to struggle with it. Maybe it's because of the sunk cost fallacy, or maybe a tried and true question. Have I worn this dress in the last 6 months? And our go-to answer should be to donate it if the answer is no. But if you let the sunk cost fallacy win, you're going to keep it because you're going to go, well, it cost $40. I've hung on to it. What's the harm in hanging on to it a little longer, right? I've invested the resources. So the sunk cost fallacy can really be a major roadblock when it comes to what I call scarcity clutter, or those items that could come in handy, but it can also impact sentimental clutter. For example, you may hold on to a gift from an old friend because you've invested time and energy and emotion into that relationship, and you don't want to let go of that investment. And speaking of gift giving, right, we're heading into the holiday season. Maybe this has happened to you in the past where you've received a well-intentioned gift from a loved one, maybe a scarf or a new purse, and you don't really use it. You've hung on to it for years, really out of you're feeling like you're going to be disrespectful by letting go of that item. It's almost like this physical material representation of your relationship and a reminder of your investment in that relationship. This is a great example of how on its own stuff is neutral, but it's the meaning that we assign to this stuff. And that often ties in with something like a cognitive bias, like the sunk cost fallacy we're talking about. There are literally 1,000,001 ways this can and does come up. And you know what they say, awareness is the first step, but now we need to make sure to be able to override the sunk cost fallacy. And one of my favorite questions to override this is this: does this item have a current purpose in my life? Again, we're not looking at the past, we're not looking at the future. That's going to get us results that we don't want. We are talking about the now. So bring yourself back to the present time when you were going through these types of items. Current purpose is the name of the game. Not did it serve me 6 years ago, or could this come in handy in 2 years? Step 2 is to consider your opportunity cost. In the context of clutter, opportunity cost refers to the benefits that could be gained from using the space or resources that are currently being occupied by said clutter. When you are trying to decide what to keep and what to let go of, it's important to remember that we continue to pay for our things long after we swipe our credit card. We pay with our physical space, we pay with our time, our energy, and our mental space as well. And number 3 is to visualize your future without that item. I think a quick visualization exercise can prove to be so helpful because we can actually see our day-to-day life without the stuff. And thereby we see the benefit of not hanging on to it, such as having more space in your home or just feeling less burdened by clutter. Remember that while the sunk cost fallacy can be a major obstacle, it's also 100% possible to overcome it. By focusing on the current purpose of your items rather than past investments, say money, time, and resources, you can now make informed decisions about what to keep and what to get rid of. And you'll be well on your way to a peaceful, cozy, uncluttered home. And by the way, if you're a subscriber of mine or have found any of my videos helpful, I strongly encourage you to join me for my free masterclass on December 13th. Even if you can't join me live, make sure to sign up and I'll send you the replay. I've never taught a class just like this before, and I don't know if I ever will again. So if it's your goal to declutter your home in 2024, make sure to join me and I'll put that link below. See you there.